Don't mind the sounds of crinkling plastic, because actually this is foil, but cough, cough. Digimon cards came in, cough. I may have a problem. Look, AD01 released on the 27th last month. I bought a box, 2 boxes. One of them is expected to arrive today, but I've heard the vendor that's potentially arriving from is notorious for being very bad with service, and I didn't realize that up until after I'd ordered and realized, oh shit, the only refund policy they've got is if you weren't given the right product. What? They're like this place in Texas, apparently, and yeah, they're pretty bad at service. People have reported the packages arriving to them late. They've also reported not getting the right product from them, period, at times, which has me worried. Mind you, the reports of this were like 3 to 5 years ago, so if something made it change, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All I know is they were certainly late on this one, according to the postmark on Shopify, which claimed last week, when that was the point in which they actually sent the damn thing out for delivery. And I only started getting updates on the package Tuesday this week, with claims that it had been delayed by, quote, 1 day. I don't know about that. Regardless, we'll see what happens, and because I figured I wanted a Digimon thing to poke at just on my own time, and also because the original seller doesn't seem reputable. I bought the same box as well through TCG Player. It's arrived like 2 days ago. I like card games, okay? Leave me alone. A month of rack. Whee! 30 streak. Get some clothes on, Blue. But yeah, part of the appeal for AD01 for me was that it's a rerun set. So it means that there's a chance for a whole bunch of cards that were once popular to come back. I think there is due to be another set later on in like May or June, maybe July, I'm trying to remember, that I do have interest in, because I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to research it quick, shit. Yeah, it is Dawn Liberator. I think it was... If it wasn't Dual Revolution, then it was the one after the Beat Break starter decks. Maybe it was Dual Revolution after all, because that one is a bit more of a tie-in to the most recent Digimon game. Time Stranger. There we go. Tara, how you doing? Head pats. Dual Revolution is supposed to be related to Time Stranger. I need to get back to that at some point. Keep playing it on my off time. And in tandem with that, apparently there's going to be more Dorimon support, because Dorimon is a card that you could pick up, among other things. You want to see real quick if it will pick up game capture? Sure, apparently it does today. I don't know why it's choosing to behave this time around, but whatever. Ancient-ass game is ancient-ass game. Right, my name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist mature, and we're back for continuing the calm before the storm with the dark story. There's still no audio. Good to know. Fuck me.
That was all too easy. Let's take a look at what my grandfather was working on. A top secret military weapon. The military shut down research because they feared it.
Of course there's no audio. Blah. Oh, there's no audio entirely. Excuse me? What the... That's a new one. Okay, if it isn't one thing, it's another with this game, huh? Oh my god. Okay, I mean, that could be it, Blue. Lol, I am a dummy. I'll try that again then. I don't know why I missed that. I think I've just gotten lazy with, remembering capturing audio via OBS. Ah! And it just refused to open this time. What the... Okay, let's see if this works. Crossing beans. Progress. Oh my god, I am so sorry. This time on Jank. Right, Eggy. We're back with Sonic Adventure 2, and this time it's an Eggman. You might notice some of the assets here are gonna look fairly similar to stages that we've already been to. The way I tend to look at the dark story of Sonic Adventure 2 is, hey, you know the hero story? What if we made it a little bit harder? Or in cases more annoying. We'll get into what that means later. For right now, just know that Eggy exists. His mech is a little bit fatter than Tails is, a little less mobile, but to exchange for that, a good chunk of his upgrades are, actually one upgrade in particular, is more defensively oriented as opposed to offensively oriented. Each of the characters has upgrades still within stages. I believe the one for this stage is Physicality, am I being mistaken? I do have a few reasons for saying why Eggy is the hard mode shooter stuffs. And one of those is, oh, actually you can see the power-up over there. You can't get to it because we don't have the relevant weapon. Get him. The one moment when you realize, oh shit, the announcer lady is actually an announcer lady and not an automated voice like you'd expect. I imagine they have some type of vendetta, but then again, it kind of happens when you're Eggman. Right, other weirdities of Eggy to particular mention. One of them is the most egregious of the lot. The order in which you get certain power-ups in is different from Tails, and expect not to be able to safely platform with Eggy for quite some time. Security door. The second weirdity that you might have noticed, or might not have noticed, Eggy's laser and Vulcan cannon are on opposite sides of the mech. You wouldn't think this would have a drastic effect on how he plays. It does. With Tails, it's very much a valid strategy to spam the button and, hey, even if you never get the lock, you will still be able to, like, get the initial attack. Not the case for Eggy, because there's a good chunk of the time where, because the cannon is on the opposite side of the laser, you'll miss. Woofy! How you doing? I'm also gonna say, Eggy stages are supposed to be harder, but I feel like I get an easier time getting the A ranks in some of these. Right. Another facet. The Chow world. Eggy outside of a mech looks cursed. Noodle eggs! Why am I being rated Shade? You died. Your turn. I mean, I saw that you were on Crazy Gadget. That wasn't too bad. Seems like you made a decent amount of progress. Crazy Gadget in 2 hours. I mean, hey, that's still pretty good. And this is Zentai. How you doing? Head pats to you. So yeah, I did a small amount of prep to help along the Chow. Boing. Here's Rizna. Quite a bit more on the run and power stats. And where's as the unnamed Chow. You. Gave you a bunch of skunk, so better swim in flight. You call me slow? No, I'm not! There you go. I also picked up something from the shop. Oh no, shoot. Okay, fine, I guess you're getting it. Every so often, you can find various specialty fruits, and one of them is this Chow fruit right here. It will raise all stats by 1 tick per tick of the fruit. It costs about 200 rings, so somewhat expensive, but not terrible. They're pretty valuable. I'd recommend picking them up when you can. There's the tiger.
Well,
Wait, finish your food. You can still do the animal replication trick. It will be a little finickier with Eggy because space. There we go. Rizna is very well geared. But something I should mention is you might have noticed the little orb above Rizna's head here start to change colors. How Chow raising works in this game is that, and you're probably gonna have to deal with the sounds of Eggman going, yours, 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 for a little bit, bear with me. Each time a hero or dark character pets a Chow, then they will gain affinity for either light side or dark side. This is represented by the ball above their head turning slowly red or blue. This isn't relevant immediately, but eventually it will be, because after a point, Chow can evolve. This is how we unlock the 2 other gardens. What's the benefit of raising Chow? Answer, the benefit of raising Chow is multifold. 1, it's a fun thing that you could do for when you're wanting to take a break from the headaches of Sonic Adventure 2. 2, there are emblems that are tied to the Chow, specifically about like 12 of them, I believe. Gotta run to workies. All right, stay safe, Shade. There are like 12 different emblems specifically tied to Chow. Or was it 9? Regardless, there are emblems tied to the Chow Garden, so get used to raising them. It isn't hard, honestly. Just find specific animals. If you know the animal replication glitch, do it. Otherwise, make do. And besides that, this is an old game, so it's not that hard to hack Chow if need be. If you want any of the other profile options that you can get in the game, then you're gonna have to grind up stages anyway, and emblems in exchange as well, so that way you can eventually get to them. There we go. That should do for now. As you can see here, this Chow is decidedly darker. Oh! So this is the military's top secret weapon. It's a lot smaller than I expected. Enter user data. Enter password. M-A-R-I-A. There we go. Now all I have to do is place this Chaos Emerald into the console. Boop. It's a capsule! The weirdest crowd pod you've ever seen.
What the fuck?
The military's top secret weapon.
Is that you, Sonic? Are you trying to spoil my plans again? Wait a minute, you're not Sonic. This is impossible.
My name is Shadow. Since you were so kind to release me, my master. I will grant you one wish. It's so rainy. Now what? Behold, the true power I possess. You say true power, but you get less overall pickups than Sonic does. Your bosses are a little bit harder, maybe. Maybe. Hotshot here is somewhat similar to 1, 2, 3 Bigfoot. Only somewhat similar. Bonk! Still cheesable. But he does have a couple of new attacks. One is this chargeable laser, which is very slow, just move around, easy to dodge. Ow. You also get the missile spread. Here. 3, 2, 1. Frick. I hate you, come on. There we go, finally. Not too different. Destroying that god robot was spectacular. So, Shadow, you are the military's top secret weapon? But what did you mean when you said you'd grant me a wish? Bring me more Chaos Emeralds. Shadow, wait! I'll be waiting for you in the control center. On the space colony, Ark. Ark? Meanwhile, in another part of the world, it's a cutscene that we've already seen before because it's Rouge this time. Also an amusing note, any and all pickups that you get for a character do show up on the character even in these cutscenes. Even if canonically they shouldn't have it in that point of time. God, no. Actually, no, by all means, nut all over Rouge. She'll enjoy it. Our treasure hunting stages are spearheaded by Rouge on the dark side. Kinda odd, given she's not exactly a antagonistic force. She's a double agent. We'll find that out later. Regardless of the matter, a good lot. To further point out, Rouge's treasure hunting stages are a bit more labyrinthine usually than Knuckles'. Music is a lot less rap too, which is nice. Okay, round here up. Double agent, so Gemini. Potentially Velocity. How you doing, by the way? That was close. Blue and white striped color. Now, if I remember correctly, part of the gimmick of this area revolves around these turtles. You gotta rescue the turtle each time you get to the stage, and by destroying the robots next to it. And when you do, the turtle goes into the water here and can take you to other areas, if you stand on its shell. I believe the power-up of the area is in this section. I might be mistaken. The area also might look a little bit familiar to Knuckles'. Only a little bit. And there's a fluid check from Zoe. Thank yous. We'll do in a few moments. It was over here, wasn't it? I vaguely remember it being around the butterflies. Might be mistaken. But there is an emerald piece here. There's irony here in that Rouge has a lot more water to deal with in cases, but she doesn't get an air necklace or anything like that. Yeah, logic that one. Wasn't just in one of the boxes here. Rebel Sweeter 2 is half off. Yep. You may need Ethernet to work for the game. Potentially. Oh, great, it is. I think I've been wanting to arrange something with Laika and Blue just to poke at the multiplayer of that game. Also, I have no idea how you're supposed to get this container reliably. If anyone's got any ideas, let me know, but otherwise, disconnect. Over here? Yes, it is. I did get to try Slade. He's a little bit weird for me. Like, he's not exactly Link, if that makes sense. Also, that walk speed, I think, is the fastest walk speed in the game, which ironically is the same speed as his run speed. So he's like Ganondorf in that respect. Rouge makes you go... Rouge makes... Okay. Calmly! Oh my! Scandalo. Record pictures. Also, how you doing? Eggy's version of the stage being pretty straightforward. Though there can be some headaches with the sand. It is the longest death animation you've ever seen. Just like with Tails. Also annoyingly, point accruals for lock-on only accumulate per actual enemy that you lock onto. The gimmick of the area revolves around a lot of moving platforms over Sandpit. So be prepared to restart over and over again if you're not careful. Especially since, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this, the mech doesn't exactly control the greatest. Second champ, great. I'm used to it because I ended up playing the shooter stages a lot as a kid. Hey, don't shake, Blue. You might like it. Act no! I forgot to sip. I'm a dummy. Alright, I was talking Rivals of Evil for a little bit. In Tan with Slade, they also introduced casual mode with items. So we now officially have Indie Super Smash Bros. And it's good. Oh shit! Come on! That's the first time I've ever slipped off of that. mech platforming. It's a bit jank, if you haven't noticed. Sometimes it looks like you should clear a platform and you don't. You just slide off because no reason. And sometimes it's turning. Up. That was close. Up. The stages will become a lot easier after we get the jet booster, but that's gonna be a bit, like I said. Also, there's a bat over there. If I remember correctly, there are two different animals that can take off the legs of Chow, and the bat is one of them. I believe the other was Skeledoggo. If not, then Skeledoggo was the animal used for field part, and animal parts from Chow. Squishy platforms. There we go.
Yosh in the tush.
We did die, unfortunately, so we're not getting the A rank. But that's fine. We're not worrying too hard about A ranks. Eggmans?
With the Chaos Emerald in the space colony Ark, huh? I need to find out what's going on up there.
Yes, Yosh and the Tush. It's an in-joke with my sister. We interrupt this broadcast for an important news flash. There's been a break-in at the Federal Reserve Bank today. Also, Eggman scratched his ass. Mysteriously, the only thing that was stolen was the Chaos Emerald? According to eyewitnesses at the scene, the suspect was identified as the world-renowned hero Sonic the Hedgehog, even though he's black. The suspect was seen fleeing the scene, destroying the reserve's guard robots in its path. Stay tuned for more details.
Sounds like the work of shit.
Meanwhile... Pathetic. This is a flashback. If you played Sonic Generations Shadow, you're familiar with this. You're familiar with who this is. But otherwise, this is Maria.
Still in the middle of harvesting.
For the people of this planet, I promise you,
Revenge.
it's the girl from the Sonic 3 movie. Spoilers? I haven't seen that movie yet. What? Radical Highway ends up being Token's Shadow the Hedgehog stage, for obvious reasons. First stage that you actually get to play as him as your speed character. Also, unlike Sonic, I believe his first power-up is one of the last ones that Sonic gets. Mistake. There's either light speed or flame bracelet that he gets here. We'll find out in a few moments. To be honest, Shadow stages aren't that much more difficult than Sonic's. Though, in cases, you do get random gush taps. Case in point, those gotcha traps are A-rank killers. Ow! That's not fine. Fuck you. There's a falling section. You can pick up a lot of rings in the stage if you know what you're doing. And take the upper path. It does require a bit more platforming finesse. And you also gotta deal with the static robots here. Oh, come on. And of course, sometimes because Sonic Hedgehog 2, Sonic Adventure 2 is kinda jank, your homing attack, which should hit the enemy, doesn't hit the enemy. Chav crate back there. We're not gonna worry about it too much. There's a mouse on screen. Who puts a ramp indoors like that? Seriously. It's just asking for a hassle. It is possible to get up on the railing up here. It's a little bit tricky. You don't really get too much out of it, so don't bother with it. Besides, the stage is pretty much over anyways. Because you get a set piece, which flings you to the goal, if I remember correctly. Or almost into it, because there's a gotcha trap. It's not too bad. That wasn't so hard, he says. Something like all my first dates. Meanwhile, here's a Sonic. What? It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power. That's the Chaos Emerald. Yeah, whatever. Now I know what's going on. The military's mistaken me for the likes of you! So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say something, you fake hedgehog! Chaos Swiss roll! No, the diabetic goodness. The little Debbie cakes going into my face are making me too slow to catch up. Wow, he's fast. Wait, it's not his speed. He's using the Chaos Emerald to warp. My name is Shadow. I'm the world's ultimate life form. There's no time for games. Farewell. Yes, Leica, it's Friday! Meanwhile, in a pyramid... This is Rouge. I've located Eggman's base. I'll proceed to enter now. I hate to say it. Guess I'm gonna have to get those keys. How you doing, Leica? Also, this stage isn't exactly harder, it's just more annoying. Because the gimmick is there's a security robot around here that you're gonna have to dodge. If it detects you, then it starts to shoot you. If you hear its whirring, get into the shadows. It gets closer the more the screen blinks green, and further the less it blinks. headquarters here otherwise has most of the same sections as with numbers. There's that security bot. Hello, Bree. How you doing? Aggie building very beautiful fun. I think it's stated in universe that he kind of just commandeered this. There's our pickup for the area. We're gonna need this. This is a mandatory pickup, pretty much. The pick nails. It is Rouge's equivalent to the shovel cloth, allowing you to dig. Just gonna wait here for a little bit. Said, I like Rouge's music a little bit more than Knuckles', but that's mostly because I don't really care for rap. The Eggy was meant to be a cartoon villain. Commandeered an ancient wonder of the world for his own technological experiments or vanity project. I mean, yes. But at the same rate, evil doesn't exactly pay. I'd imagine Eggy has a lot of side ventures to help fund his everything. Well, because, you know, that'd be the smart villain thing to do. Ah. There we go. Easy. Easy clap. Just looking belly from the air, dude. Yeah, accurate. Also, very easy A rank. Honestly, I'm kind of glad. Yeah, I don't have to redo the stage. Space transporter. Destination's been set to Ark? Wasn't that space colony shut down over 50 years ago? What's he doing there anyway? Doesn't matter. It's my mission to find what he's up to. The pose is extra. The Lost Colony. So this is the space colony Ark. I have to locate the central control room that Shadow mentioned before he left. The gimmick of this stage, darkness, imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute Eggman. No, seriously, like, that's the entire gimmick of the stage. It's just dark. It does present some interesting challenges in places. Then there's this. It's literally just a loop where you have to feel around at the bottom, up until you can find a way upstairs. Ow! Where you get the jet engine. Yeah, this is why it's called Team Dark. I thought you get this later than this. I suppose I'm mistaken.
Missile!
The jet engine will make it a hell of a lot easier to platform. That's for certain. Actually, that should be... Heck! I shouldn't have done this! On the bright side, the game saves after you get the jet booster, so you don't need to worry about redoing too much. You mean like Slender from Pokemon? Oh right, speaking of Pokemon, Pokemon Champions apparently released, and to a critical pan for a multitude of reasons. One of which being Dexit rearing its ugly head yet again. Another being a lot of pay-to-win aspects, which, hey, I mean, one hand, what'd you expect? It's Pokemon Company and Nintendo. More specifically, Pokemon Company and their greedy ass. This one. Kind of a Chow crate over here. Third of which is a lot of weird rebalancing changes that they did. Like, for one thing, apparently they made Protect you have, like, less power points. In other words, they trashed a lot of strategies that competitive Pokemon operates around normally. And yet it dares to advertise itself as being competitive Pokemon. What is that emote, Tara? That's cute. That'll be like an official Pokemon Showdown. Yeah, like that was the expectation that a lot of people had. So naturally, they kind of have to go surprise Pikachu face when Nintendo, or rather, Pokemon Company and Game Freak did not offer what they were wanting. And probably to an extent weren't intending to offer what they were wanting. Chances are the reason why that they have it set up the way they do is just to encourage it being live service. Which, no, that's not a good practice for a game like this. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna come out and state it. Competitive Pokemon does not give a shit about your game wanting to be live service. If anything, it's just gonna push people away because they can't use their favorites. It's done so in the past, it will continue to do so in the present, and the future. Your legs are gone! Your legs continue to be gone. There's also... they kind of get you in two respects on the subscription shit. Because, one, you need Nintendo Online, if I remember correctly, or otherwise, I don't know if there's a mobile app. If there is, that makes it a little bit easier, but even then. But two, yes, there are a whole bunch of other subscription-based bullshit things attached to it, because there's starter packs, there's season passes. They're nickeling and diming players by effectively saying, hey, you want to change any of the Pokemon? You gotta pay for it. Ah, mobile coming soon. Worse, even. So now you not only have to pay for Nintendo Online, but you also gotta pay for potentially raising your Pokemon in the first place. Depends on whether or not you want to wait for it or not. You can at least draft your own Pokemon in system, but even then, I believe it's like one draft every 22 hours. And I know all of this because a YouTuber that I watched, Dado Doya, did a video on it, and I soaked in a lot of information. The guy really shouldn't have bought anything, and he did. Yeah, Nintendo all in on the CH train now. Plague Inc. franchise sale. Plague Inc. is a franchise?
Oh, so that's why we need the Chaos Emerald. To stroke my grandfather's dick.
Exactly. To reactivate the dick, we need 7 Chaos Emeralds. Once you have that, then you have the ultimate power of destruction. To use as you please. And then, the world could be yours.
Sounds like a plan. I like the way you think, Shadow. I'll get the Chaos Emeralds, use the machine to dominate the world, and build a legacy of my own.
You really think it'd be that easy?
I've got a great idea. How about making a deal?
A deal? When you grabbed that huge emerald, you said something about a reaction? A reaction that it may have with the Master Emerald?
Now, if you could just let me borrow that radar, I might be able to help you. What do you think? If I do, what's in it for me?
I have an idea where the other Chaos Emeralds might be.
I may not look it, but I am a treasure hunter that specializes in all kinds of jewels. Oh.
You might as well trust her.
Very well. It's a deal. I don't think we've been introduced. I'm Rouge the Bat. Call me Rouge.
I like watching purple.
Having to come back isn't an idea of my idea of a vacation. Are you sure your intelligence reports are correct? Why would the Chaos Emerald be here on the island? Are you sure?
Well, believe what you want to believe.
Very well then. Let's discuss how we're going to do this. I'll go in first and distract the military troops, allowing you to sneak inside without being detected. Then Shadow will go to the armory, set the timer on these dynamite charges. Once that's in place, we'll blow up the island and get away before anyone has a chance to know and hit him. The ultimate prank! Meanwhile, sneak into the cargo and grab the Chaos Emeralds. That should be a challenge for a worthy treasure hunter like yourself, right, Bad Girl? We've only got 30 minutes to pull this off. You only get one try. Don't fail me.
Where's the baddie? Pretty much. She got the nails, the walk. Also, weapons bed, the easiest A rank in existence. Want to catch up on chat quick. Consider getting a Switch 2 for the Pokemon games. Online subscription thing is discouraging. Mood and a half. They also haven't really shored up much of the parts either. Plague Inc., Rebel Inc. being self-explanatory. After Inc. is rebuilding after the pandemic. Right, I did say that this is one of the easiest A ranks in history because all these deactivated robots count as enemies. It is almost impossible not to get the 12 plus links required for perfect bonuses. Like, you actually kind of have to try not to get them. Also, large cannon. Vulcan cannon power up. So now we can break iron containers. This is also a good stage to grind up rings, if you know how to play it. Also, be very patient. Lots of gotcha traps, which can easily disrupt your ringtone. And a Wanton Gun Robot. On the bright side, there is a thing with this game where if you destroy an enemy while it's shooting, or a little after it shoots, then you can erase its shot resistance. Pretty much, yeah. It really isn't that hard to get A rank at this stage. Also, it is a bit on the easy side. It is a little easy to perish in this section. Platforming can be a bit finicky. Also, a whole bunch more bots up there. Ow. I am taking a few too many hits, unfortunately, so the A rank may get subject to that. Highest level A rank is Eclipse Scanner, crazy guy. Situationally, yeah. 33,000. There you go. Easy! Favorite Rouge level in the game? Ugh, it's my least favorite. Actually, no, it's not my least favorite, but it's only mid, honestly. Also, Amy's eyesight. Getting a B rank after saying easy staring would be hilarious, to be fair. It would be! I'm glad I didn't! I panicked for a moment! Also, one of the few times in history where Eggy actually puts down his goggles